Welcome back. LanceScurvX here, the Scurv podcast. In a world where everyone is pulling at your mind, your time, your energy, and your emotions, the greatest freedom you will ever give yourself is the power to detach. Most people don't even realize how deep the trap goes. They think they're living freely, but they're tied to invisible strings. Every thought, every reaction, every emotional spike is connected to something outside of them. You are controlled the most by what you cling to, the people you fear losing, the outcomes you obsess over, the situations you replay long after they're gone. That attachment feels like love, like purpose, like meaning. But it's not. It is dependence dressed up in a way that feels really good. The moment something becomes emotionally necessary to you, it becomes a handle. And that handle can be used to move you, not by force, but by pressure. Not by attack, but by expectation. This is how control works in silence. No chains, no locks, just emotional leverage. Every problem that drains you is living in your mind rent-free because you've allowed it in. Every person who disturbs your peace has access because you've opened the door. Your mind is territory, and too many people have given it away without a fight. Detachment is how you take it back. Not by running, not by hiding, but by stepping back and removing the emotional weight from everything that does not deserve it. When emotion leaves, truth becomes clear. And when truth becomes clear, you become powerful again. Detachment begins when you face a hard truth. Your suffering is not caused by events alone. It's caused by your refusal to accept them as they are. You replay conversations. You imagine different outcomes. You chase answers that will never satisfy you. That mental struggle is not random. It is the cost of attachment, and the prize is always your peace. When you detach, you stop trying to control what cannot be controlled. You stop negotiating with reality. You step back and observe instead of react. This is not weakness. This is discipline. Most problems stay alive because someone keeps reacting to them. When you remove your reaction, the problem either dies or reveals that it was never yours to carry. That is power. Quiet power. People will notice when you change. They will push harder. They will try to pull you back into the same emotional patterns. That resistance is proof that your detachment is working. The more they push, the more you must stand still. Detachment becomes real when need disappears. Not desire, not ambition, need. Need is the chain. When you need validation, you can be controlled. When you need approval, you can be manipulated. When you need outcomes, you become predictable. Look at your reactions. Where do you feel fear when something is threatened? Where do you feel anger when things don't go your way? That is where you are attached. That is where you're most vulnerable. You must understand something simple but powerful. Whatever can disturb your inner state can be used against you. Detachment means you still feel, but you do not obey. You experience emotion, but you do not become it. You observe it, you learn from it, and then you move forward without being controlled by it. When you stop needing things from people, their power over you disappears. And what remains is either real respect or distance. Both are victories. When you detach, you begin to understand the power of silence. Not the silence of fear, but the silence of control. Most people talk too much because they need to be seen, understood, and validated. But power moves differently. Power observes. Power waits. Power listens. When you stop reacting, people reveal themselves. They talk more, they show their intentions, they expose their weaknesses, and you gain information without giving anything away. Silence becomes your shield. Invisibility becomes your protection. You are no longer easy to read, easy to provoke, or easy to control. You stop explaining yourself. You stop arguing for respect. You enforce your boundaries through your actions. If someone crosses the line, you remove access. No speeches, no drama, just distance. And over time, people adjust, not because you force them to, but because they have no other choice. And that's a beautiful thing. Authority does not shout. It does not beg for attention. It does not chase approval. Authority is felt. When you detach, your presence changes. You are no longer desperate for reactions. You are no longer trying to prove anything. And that calm, that stillness, becomes powerful. People sense it. They may not understand it, but they feel it. You are no longer easy to influence. You are no longer easy to shake. You speak less, but your words carry weight. You act less, but your actions carry meaning. You don't rush decisions. You don't panic under pressure. And in a world full of noise, that quiet control stands out. Anyone can appear calm when life is easy. Real detachment shows up under pressure. When emotions rise, when people push you, when situations get uncomfortable, that is when your discipline is tested. Most people react. They rush. They explain. They defend. They try to escape discomfort. But the detached mind does something different. It pauses. It creates space between feeling and action. And in that space, clarity is born. You do not react on impulse. You choose your response. You control the timing. You control the energy. And when you do that consistently, people learn something about you. Pressure does not move you. And when pressure cannot move you, it loses its power. Detachment is not just for hard times. It is even more important when things are going well. Success can trap you, just like failure. It can make you attached to your image, your status, your progress, and that attachment creates fear. Fear of losing what you've gained, fear of failing, fear of change. That fear weakens you. Detachment means you pursue your goals without becoming them. You achieve without attaching your identity to the outcome. You move forward without losing your center. You enjoy success, but you're not owned by it. The final level of detachment is within your own mind. You must understand this clearly. You are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are the observer of both. Thoughts will come. Fear, doubt, anger, desire, but they are not commands. They are signals. Most people obey their thoughts without question. That is why they are not free. Detachment means you watch your thoughts without following them. You let them pass without giving them power. And when you do that, something powerful happens. Your mind becomes quiet, not empty, but controlled. You are no longer pulled in every direction. You are no longer trapped in mental loops. You are stable, grounded, clear. Detachment is not about becoming cold. It is about becoming free. You still care, but you choose where to care. You still feel, but you decide how to respond. You still engage, but only where it matters. You stop chasing control over the world and start removing what controls you. That is where your power begins. When nothing owns your emotions, no one can manipulate you. When nothing controls your mind, no situation can break you. You become calm in chaos, clear in confusion, strong without noise. And in a world that feeds on your reactions, that kind of man or woman becomes untouchable. Detachment is the key. Remember, you are not your emotions. Those are signals that you don't have to obey. You choose how you deal with what's around you, and the best way is to be detached. It might be difficult or seem impossible at first, but once you consciously practice this technique, trust me, your whole life is going to change, and your energy levels are going to change. You'll find you'll have more time for yourself, more energy for yourself, and most of all, more mental clarity to do the things that you need to do, which will make your day become more efficient and not caught up in the chaos that people throw at you or depend on to control you. No, it's not going to be that way anymore. Just follow through with that. Trust me, it's what I do now, and I wish I understood this many decades ago, but it's never too late. Anyway, on to the next one. LanceScurv out. I appreciate you for listening to this, and I'd love to hear your comments. Thank you very much. Peace.